Live. Peace and love. We open our grand meeting, our divine meeting, in the name of our divine creator, our Sufian. Oh, yes. Get this on the screen. We're going to be going over our wisdom material for study is the Tao Te Ching. Oh, yes. So in Chinese, how they would say God, they would say Tao. So y'all see some Chinese people, or y'all have some Chinese friends. This is how you can communicate with them. Tao. Tao, they will understand that. That's their language. Te, it means virtue.
Look at it.
Qing means the way. So it's the way of the spirit, God, the creator, Allah. But this is written in another language. This is written in Chinese language. So we want to understand to give thanks for the translator. Because we have it in English. So we can dive in to the psychology of why the Honorable Noble Drew Ali said that if we want to understand the instructions of the Holy Breath, this is something that Jesus partook in with the 40 days and 40 nights. After that, he was left into the consciousness of the Holy Breath. So this is the main objective for each self to accomplish in life, is to attain the Holy Breath. The reason why we get good grades in school, the reason why we honor our parents, our mothers and fathers, is because there's a consequence. Everybody is connected in this world. That's right. Only thing that disconnects you in this world is when we fall into unconsciousness. And this is where we all have failed. And this is why we in the shams that we are in now. Why? Because we don't understand our origin. We've been placed with other names outside of the name we've been called. We've been knowing our name the whole time. But ever since we've been alive, our name has been ignored. And names like Jesus, God, these things are pressed upon us. And before we know how to know, we say we know these things. And so this creates a unconsciousness because you don't truly know, but you're saying that you know. And so when we're talking about the story of God and the devil, this is understanding of how you came into existence. This is a storytelling format. God is a storytelling format. The devil is a storytelling format to understand our two selves, our higher self and our lower self. So when we want to understand this, this is how we get here. This is very important. Before you was here, as who you are as an individual that you think you are, your 10 toes with a body and the image you see in the mirror. Before you came to that awareness, you existed. In that existence, this is where you was in consciousness. Consciousness stays where it's at. Separate of consciousness is where we at. This is why you're just not in the land of just pure consciousness, where everyone is conscious of themselves and how they treat others, and if they're respectful or disrespectful to life, others, and everything. So that's what the goal is of attaining. So now when we're talking about how did we get here? By leaving consciousness. And when you leave consciousness, that is called separating. So now we picked up a self. So now we have an individual self, meaning that you was kicked out of consciousness. So as you was kicked out of consciousness, meaning that now you are an individual soul, disconnected from your mother and father, only tethered to the original creator in you. But none of us know this because the original story haven't been told what it is. We have the knowledge of God, but we don't have the knowledge of self. Self has been excluded. So the beginnings of all of us is the same when it comes to the physical manifest. We all come from the beginning, which is sleep. Sleep is the form of unconsciousness to help you to understand the separability. So now, when we go to sleep, each of us go to sleep, each of us dream, and each of us become awake. Now, with these things, these are places that we visit. We have to understand the way. So this book is going before creation and giving you post-creation, pre-creation and post-creation. So we got to understand duality is not duality, but it's unity. Sleep, dream, and awake is all connected. And depending on how you live your life, you get a good thumbs up, you get a star, 5 stars, smiley face, satisfactory. Those are values to teach you higher values to come. So our value as we get older is to maintain a consciousness. The children are learning how to become conscious from unconsciousness. So sleep, if you ever wonder why you go to sleep, that is because you was kicked out of heaven. All of us was kicked out of heaven. And that's to say kicked out of consciousness. So now with opposite of consciousness is unconsciousness. So now sleep is the unconsciousness with you. So this is what we have to understand. This is why you can be here in this house right now seeing orange walls, or you could be in your mind. Not even seeing what's going on present. This is called unconsciousness. You have this ability, we all have this ability to put yourself to sleep and cut off your presence and just go into your thinking. And so we want to understand how to think, because now when you are an unconscious individual and you can think, you now need to know how to think. So this is why we finna go into the way now with how to travel according to the yin and the yang. Hey, yin yang in this thing, hey. So I'm at book 1. Make sure, All right, who want to learn? Who want to learn? Who want to educate themselves? All right, we have a volunteer. All right, it's T. Letters are interchangeable. This is why you have a D and a T in English, but they come from ancient origin. So D and T is interchangeable. Foreign languages. So that's just a graphical notion.
So, the way you can go isn't the real way. The name you can say isn't the real name.
Mm.
Heaven and earth, these and the unnamed, names the lovers of the 10,000 things.
Mm.
So the unwanting soul sees what's hidden, and the ever wanting soul sees only what it wants.
Mm.
Two things, one origin but different in name, whose identity is mystery, mystery of all mysteries, the door to the hidden.
And these mysteries are the mysteries of ancient Egypt.
Mm.
So when we talk about Chinese people are the Egyptians. These are the people who are with the Asiatics of that time. Now we have to understand, historical facts. But the noble, honorable Drew Ali already told us. If I need to pull it in. But the Chinese are a part of the Asiatic Muslims. So all of this is Muslim literature.
Mm.
They call themselves Muslims in different words, like monk,
Mm-hmm.
Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
These are Muslim terms.
Mm.
But in their language, it's just what it is. As we understand what we're going to, all mysteries, the word mastery.
Mm.
So we're going into the mastery of all mastery.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the knowledge of self.
Mm.
There's no knowledge higher than the knowledge of self.
Mm.
This is the knowledge of consciousness at its infinite.
Mm.
So now when she's reading, we got to keep these things in mind, the origin
Mm-hmm.
and the different in name.
Mm.
This is what they have plagued us with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they plagued us with different. So including our, why we say black,
Yeah.
and then we take on names that doesn't belong to our ancient fathers and mothers. It's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
One of us read a book.
Yeah. And when it comes down to our people over here, that hit us right on the head right there, because we really and truly don't know many names, all but the real name.
Oh, but the real.
And see, and this the purpose of the hit
Mhm.
for us to come back
For us to come back.
and be conscious, like you say.
Be conscious.
See,
of Christ.
but now we are unconscious of our identity.
Here we go.
Now, let me say this. Who will write up a constitution of the United States of America and place us as 3/5 of a man or person? Took 2/5 away, and one of them was your identity. Who would do something that cruel? But like you said, we got to find our way back. So they, anytime, the way I look at it, anytime you take a human being and make him 3/5 of a man when he's 5, take away 2/5, give him 3.
I'm glad you brought that up.
And then put it in a constitution to make it lawful.
Mhm.
And then come in with what they call a color of law. There's a law called color of law. They done slid us right down there.
I'm happy that you made these points because we need to address these issues
Yeah.
as people express themselves. Because this is how you learn. You don't learn by being quiet. You don't learn by not talking.
That's
You
right.
learn by exercising your abilities.
Mhm.
You have abilities that you have to start using. Or if not, the unconscious
There you go.
will use it. And the favorite words of the unconscious, do anyone know? I don't know.
don't know. I don't know. Let me scratch your head. Up in there. He got some scratching.
So hey, we got to get that out of there. We got to get that out of there. We got to start knowing, because if we don't, we'll replace it. Now, belief is okay in its stages. That's the first stages that our child learns from. But as we as a child and no longer a child, we must put away belief, and it must grow into the fruition of truth. These are beautiful points of what you said about. And so let's place this on the record.
Yeah.
Who did this was the church and Christianity.
That's right.
They have constructed the ideology that we have now is under the rulership of a foreign language. Your language apparently is not his language, which are both cats, don't speak the same language. One speaks a greater language, a superior language. And I know we think that's a lion, but that's the tiger. The tiger is more superior. So the lion, that represents the unconsciousness. So when we are talking about understanding why certain phrases is put in books, this is why they are alluring to. So in Christianity and the church, the goal is to make you unconscious, fit for slavery. Excuse me. Because you fit for slavery. So unconsciousness is the first target for anyone to be fit and primed. Abuse, molestation, everything that comes with the violation of divine law, consented by the joiner. Now, none of this was pressed upon you now. It just floats in your head. So through that, you have not became conscious. So a whole flood of unconsciousness that has been inserted. This is what we don't want our beautiful babies to come into. Keep them away from impurities. That's doo-doo on the wall.
There you go.
You keep your baby in clean water.
That's right.
We swim in clean water.
Not dirty water.
we don't. Yeah. Water, right? So that's similar to unconsciousness. So if we don't understand what we believe in, what we do not know, it's okay to not know. But when you cover not knowing up for knowing, this creates the unconscious. The goal is, as you say, self. We all, as individuals, are responsible for our individual self getting back home. Just like when you leave here, you're responsible for yourself for getting wherever you.
That's right.
So, what's on your mind for the older, for us, is need to be consciousness.
You said that. Going over the two things, the two laws. First law, I have two selves. First law, I have two selves. Second law, I am not my second self. Then goes to one origin. You are Asiatic. Back into Asia. Just speaking of that.
Beautiful, yes. Hey, the comprehension is the reward from the divine creator. Our divine creator is the wise. You follow the wisest way. It's called the wisest way. meaning that you are constituted of wise knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and wise understanding.
Mm-hmm.
This is your ability.
Mm.
But due to the two selves, truth and falsehood strangely mix. Consciousness don't supposed to mix with unconsciousness.
Mm.
That's what the lower self is. Once we purify,
Mm-hmm.
the higher self is no longer bound to its lower self.
Mm-hmm.
It now is separate spaces.
Yeah.
I hope we beside each other.
Mm-hmm.
Night and day
Yeah.
is not the same space.
Mm-hmm.
Spaces.
Yeah.
So just as you see the moon, if you ever look up,
Mm-hmm.
but if you see the light and then you will see the shadow.
Yeah.
These are the two.
Mm-hmm.
You got the light of Allah and you got the shade.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to understand this is in life, no book.
Yeah.
We go to our ancient forefathers
Mm-hmm.
for a reminder and for divine instructions.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose the way,
Mm-hmm.
when you know the way, you don't need the book. The book is the instructions to make sure you are fit and have it in consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what you got to take to your grave at any age. Before 9, the divine creator says all children are safe. But after a certain age, children are responsible for what they think, what words they use, and the actions they do.
That's important right there.
Important.
Mm-hmm.
One more mistake the great elder did not reserve.
Okay.
We have that statement, I can't wait to get grown.
Oh yeah.
Now, let's recontextualize this. Waiting to get grown is called consciousness.
Mm.
It's not an age.
Yeah.
It's a mind revelation.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So that's the importance of when we used to say the word.
Get grown.
Yes.
And you know when you say you can't wait to get grown, which means that you so ready to get in all activity, whether it's good or bad. But is I used to go fishing over there to Uncle John. And I used to look at my watch. I said, now, I would go over there at night. And now I'm going to fish and see when day come in. I would look at my watch, and I knew about what time it would come in. And I'm here to tell y'all, if you bet your eye, if you want to, you will miss it because day and night, when it comes in, if you bet your eye, you'll miss it. And it comes in so gradually, but it's just so beautiful. When light come in after dark, it's so beautiful. And I've been just see if I can. You better not bet your eye. It's just that smooth how day and night.
That's how we're gonna find out if this has been.
Mm-hmm. True is soul food, man.
Yes, thank you for reading number 1.
It's real soul food.
Mm-hmm.
Book 2, soul food. Everybody on earth knowing that beauty is beautiful. Mm. Makes wickedness.
Look at that.
for being non-being, for being and non-being arise together. Hard and easy complete each other. Long and short shape each other. High and low depend on each other. Highest of the lowest. Note and voice make the music together. Before and after follow. That's why soul does without no thing. Teaches without talking. The things of this world exist. They are. You can't refuse them. To bear and not to own. To act and not lay claim. To do the work and let it go. For just letting it go is what makes it stay.
Yeah, there's going to be some redefining moments. Did anything stick out to anyone?
Oh, many things. Many things.
Let's gain some consciousness.
Many things. It's just like when you look at well, 1 and 2, how beautiful can become ugliness. Haven't you seen beautiful women become ugly women? The good. It said that everybody knowing that goodness is good makes wickedness. Do you remember the story that they wrote in the Bible where they said that everybody was born a sinner? Look what that did. Now, how can a baby become a sinner when he ain't conscious of even who he are or what's going on around him? He got to learn. But they said that he's already. This is what they're doing. This is what they're teaching today. And that ain't good. And I ain't never believed that. I know. You got to be conscious of the things that you get involved with and doing. And if a child being, but they classify him as a kid. And this is what they're teaching and preaching from the pulpit.
And that's where consciousness should illuminate.
Yeah.
Because that should put the puzzle together of the 3/5.
Right.
And the problem of who is the church and the Christianity plague people understanding. And people have not figured that out yet. Meaning that became their consciousness. They have overwritten, like on the computer file, overwrite. They have people's consciousness with unconsciousness. When they go to the grave, they have been convinced that another is going to come and save their own consciousness. How can a consciousness save another consciousness?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
You can't be conscious then. These are two separate spaces Just like when you go to sleep, that is separate from dream. That is separate from awake. You won't see. These are separate spaces. This is what we have to understand, that each of us contains.
Right on.
And that we have to make that which we don't know, we got to make that conscious, in which that we do know.
Yeah.
Resurrection is a fact. Now, for Circle 7 language, what do we call unconsciousness? Circle 7. But in the Circle 7, it's called the slump.
The slump is weak. That's right. Mm-hmm.
See, and this is why one who is unconscious, you will find them a sloth, because that's a high vibration.
Yeah.
Not studying is a low vibration.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever did the two and just observe the two for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When we understand the lesson that's given forth and what the beautiful sister and the beautiful brother just brought forth, everything in life that we've been told is attacking you is actually a part of the harmonies of life.
Mm-hmm.
They said you were short. They said I was dark. It complements long,
short,
and light. So we got to understand, this is why we got two selves. We may feel one self more predominantly, but they're sunken into that lower self, the arise together. That if that arises, then that arises.
Mm-hmm.
So even if a lower self moment arises, that means a higher self moment came with it. Can you find the dark? What they say? The silver line.
The silver line.
Can you find the silver line?
Mm-hmm.
That's the goodness out of the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
See, because show a ugly attitude, but you.
Right.
Do we see how it's flowing?
Oh, yeah.
Do we see of our omnipotence?
Yeah.
You do not have no one over you.
Yeah.
You are a.
Yeah.
We. Okay. Okay. So this is what with what was done as a result of the church and Christianity after their 2,000-year conquest of soul domination through writing.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they was going to create a false book and entrap souls through the language of it.
That's right.
Through the language, this is what they're going to take to the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Consciousness, but the language of unconsciousness. The origin, remember, and the name.
Mm-hmm.
This is very key right here. The only thing the church do not want the people as a whole to come aware of is self-awareness. Mm-hmm. If you become self-aware, this was the greatest feeling you would have, but it would be turned into hatred for the people who did never design a plan for this. Mm-hmm. Their design unconscious to the knowledge of self. Mm-hmm. So you are recycled in their realm. Mm-hmm. You know, you're using the language. Yeah. So you were recycled in their realm in the time. We're talking about language here. Different times of period, language rule. That's what we love. in here loves watermelon? Who in here don't love? Now, is she wicked? She don't like watermelon? See, that's her opinion. So one thing that we like and something another one like, or it's not the same. It doesn't make it wicked. It makes each other unique. Mm-hmm. And that's what we love about each other, is our uniqueness. Thumbs up.
I want to point out one more critical thing that they teach it, that Jesus Christ died for the world. They should have been able to figure out if he died for the sin of the world, he died, yet you have, and you are alive. He's dead too. That can't be so, because how he lived and what he did while he was living, it's on him. What you do in your life while you living is on you, on each and every one of us. Definitely, and our consciousness is in our own hands. So some of the things that they don't wrote and said just don't make no sense. But yet, you need to catch it. You use the bait to catch it.
You just said.
And the translation was the bait that they used to catch.
I'm glad you pronounced it, because this, I'm happy you're so alive, because we got to address these things for everyone, because that's the things that the younger people will face if those questions is right, because that has been a long standing in a lot of communities.
Yeah.
So we have to understand what was just said. And so the fishing analogy was a great analogy, because the bait in the fish analogy would be the name of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. The name of Jesus Christ is of God. If we go, mm-hmm, that's the understanding that the Christians will gain out of that they supposed to call on, which his name is Jesus. Yeah. The fisherman put the Jesus bait on the lure and threw it in the Bible. And once the printed Bible was printed, yeah, now he had his ocean, his pond. Yes. Now he just needed some fish to go in. Yes, sir. So now when we're talking about of war or join it. That's exactly what the honorable agree.
This whole big old election is coming. They putting on,
yeah,
the debate that happened, the Republican, the two cities. It's all breaking forth. They really debate in.
That's right.
For you.
That's right.
Go and think that they give a certain you.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
This is the connection.
That's right. And how long we been voting? In our
condition, debating.
Right. And our condition ain't changed.
It's because nobody searched Jesus out. You believed it. You didn't search it out. You believed it. Remember, if someone meant you good, they would never have the, let's put it this way, in your natural life, mm-hmm, when someone you love passes, if you have a chance to put an image on a shirt or a obituary, what image would you use? Would you use the image of the condition where they was destroyed and they didn't look like themselves?
Yeah.
Would you give them a picture of their death? Why is Jesus' only image is up on the death?
Hanging on the cross. Yeah. Yeah.
That is the symbol for the church.
That's right.
Death,
Sure is.
not the glory, but death.
Yeah.
That's unconsciousness. So remember, Jesus was never his real name. Remember, just like we read in Chinese literature, people in different areas speak different languages. If you didn't call yourself that, that is not your name.
Yeah.
Just because I call you that, that doesn't make it your name.
Yeah.
When later on, when translators translated the language, and when they wanted mind control over the people, they created the language of what we have now to represent Jesus. That was created by the Jesuits, who are Freemasons. So all this has been Masonic construct from its beginning all the way to now. So now Jesus becomes the unconsciousness. Check this out. Most people now, when they have Jesus, do they now study? Bam. And now, let me make sense again to you. Do you yourself mark the day? Let's really think about this. Do you mark the day to call on a name that's dead? Is to mark the dead. That is a grand 29. Truly, one of the most gravest of transgressions is to mark the dead.
Ooh, man.
So now when you're saying in the name
Of Jesus.
which is not his real name.
Yeah.
So if it's not his real name, that means it's not the truth.
That's right.
So you are actually calling on unconsciousness. Only thing that exists is consciousness.
That's right.
And so you will stay there. Where you just went at called the grave, you will stay there. Because you're calling on something that is unconscious. Just like your wheel is not vibrating high when you awake. It's sluggish.
Yeah.
So when you go to sleep, the same sluggish wheel is going to sleep right with it. Remember, your unconscious is with you. It's why you can go to sleep in class while driving.
Yeah.
While up.
Yeah.
At night. Start reading a lot of text. You'll find yourself getting dreary. Why is this stuff happening? See, these are two different spaces. One belongs to falsehood, which is all the names of it. God, Jesus, all these are not names of the living. These are names of the dead.
Yeah.
And our people are worshiping the dead.
Yeah.
And forsaking themselves as if they got to go there. They are going to the same place where all these spirits that worship the dead are going. This is why you have to understand for yourself. People have came to give you saving power.
Yeah.
And you ignored it. And you went along with society, with the world. This was placed in the world by conquerors called crusaders.
Yeah. Crusaders.
What are they after?
Yeah. That's right. Christian crusaders.
Meaning they familiar with death.
Yeah.
So they need you to volunteer and consent to your own death.
Yeah.
Do you all know we believe as black people in death?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't believe in what is not death. Consciousness. To understand consciousness, this is what wakes you up out of death. Come on, let's stay with it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So if you are in the waking life and you're not using consciousness, it's becoming sluggish and more sluggish.
Yeah.
This is the thing that is called the great work. Or I'm about my father's business. Business is consciousness. I'm about my father's consciousness.
Yeah.
I'm about the Fatiha's consciousness. The way is the consciousness. This is the ones who will never die. It won't matter what age you become. You don't have to worry about it. But you're going to see things that scare you, like Halloween time. But remember, especially personally, I always told y'all that what you see on TV ain't real. So social media is the same thing. So when we talking about what's real and what's not, you real. You are the only thing that's real in this existence here. And if you don't fight for your own self, meaning if you don't self-protect yourself, self-defend yourself, this is called self-discipline. Now, this is why the Sufian, because we got to go into it. This is why the Sufian, or all wisdom, is against magic. You cannot defeat magic, y'all, because y'all growing up in the time of magic.
Yeah.
You cannot defeat magic without wisdom. Wisdom is the only thing that defeats magic. Magic is anything that makes what we read you a wanting soul. So we're going to come to this part right here. This is why the wise soul does without doing. Now, these are deep, penetrative statements. See, because magic is doing. See, and we have to understand what they have done to us is laced us with magic, and it's specifically called black magic.
Yeah.
Black magic is why we call ourselves black. And when you black, you are under black magic. This has been an ancient war. All of us was born in the time that we come to this planet Earth. We came in a time that the planet needs us. The planet needs to heal. And if the planet heals, all souls heal. Now, when I say the planet, bodies are buried underground. Souls are still in bodies. Remember, your soul became a body.
That's right.
And if you didn't get this higher education, you never not became a body. If you think you are what your stomach hurts, if you think you are what you eat, if you think you are when you are moving around, this is why we have the wise soul does without doing.
Right.
All we know in America is to do. And if we don't see someone doing how we doing, we consider that lazy. See, it's not until you stop doing until you can activate the higher portions of your reality. Because if this is the separated portion, meaning this ain't the end all be all. This is the place where people meet death. Meaning you're gonna meet death.
That's right.
And if you ain't prepared by preparing yourself through wisdom teachings, then we don't have the necessary straight way. As we can see, I hope we can see, if we didn't know that evil exists.
That's right.
If we didn't know that evil exists, it exists. So if we don't know that You cannot exist anymore. Y'all, do we understand that? The one who made you. Right. So think about that really deep. And you going against that will right there for a man or for a woman who Allah made as well. Fear he who cannot kill the body only, but fear he who can kill the body and the soul. You can stay and sleep, y'all. That is a gift for us to come here and to see each other.
Yeah.
If you go to sleep, this is the gift of the divine creator. Some people, after they, let's say, go to sleep, as they say, Lazarus is long sleep, they don't wake up. You just think about your micro sleep. How many hours done passed before you realize consciousness have woken you up? So it's people that's been in the grave for 2,000 years, and they don't know time. They don't know anything. They existed just like you, but they live life a horrible way. Then we talking about the barbarians and the crusaders. You don't want to go to the place they go. You don't want to go where they at.
That's right.
So when we talking about, this is why I love the Al Sufian for this particular statement right here. Because Jesus himself told you that the truth was going to set you free, not calling on his name.
That's right. That's right.
He clearly said truth will set you free.
That's right.
And this is why the Sufian is here to give us clear clarity as the sun out in the daytime. The truth that other people are searching for. Number 28, death is the ultimate truth. Sufa 16:28. The truth that sets you free is death. This is hard for our people to understand, because this is why it also say, is it right there above it? Number 15 and number 14. This is why you have to reread your studies. Let's start with 10. All things in the universe die. Check this out. Be in the world that you came to as a traveler, or like a passer on, or reckon yourself as the dead. The connection, the ultimate truth. Death is the ultimate truth. This is why the Sufian say, die before dying. You got your chance now to die before dying. And then there will be no death. So when we're talking about how you do that, 12, sleep is the brother of death.
Look at that.
13, death is a bridge that uniteth friend with friend.
Look at that.
Best friends. Now, this is why death is important. And sleep is a lesson of life to let you learn how meditation is important in life. Because meditation is the opposite of sleep. Sleep is unconsciousness. Meditation is consciousness. So now, when we're talking about 14, the grave is the first stage of your journey into eternity. Remember, this ain't the space of eternity. Consciousness is the space of eternity, and it's separate from this world we in. Now let's go up to Sufa 16. And we'll find out number one. This is the mystery of all mysteries. Death is a name of the divine creator. Come on now, if I ain't drinking. This is why it's a friend that united with friend. Meaning if you live to who made you, all things is good, baby. And all is well. Don't let Romanism think it's other way.
Yeah.
And so this is what we have a mind for. So we can access meditation. To put this world to death. The lower self to sleep. So the higher self is lucid in life here. And this will be stored up as meditation. And just as you said, with how the light come after dark, this is how you want to experience death, or what they say you want to experience the second death. It's that scripture that say it'll happen in the twinkling of an eye. If you understand what I'm saying, that's how your death would be. You won't experience death, but it goes to how you live, not how you die. How you live. This is why this is the way of life, not the way of death. Now we get into the Tao Te Ching. This is the way of the harmonies of life.
As I would like to say, pertaining to the body and the soul, is like when you go in that grave. Remember, Sister Shay had found some information that says that when you put people in a casket, you delay the process, because a casket with a body sitting in there, it depends upon whether it's in a swamp area or up on a hill where it's dry. That's going to delay the process. You remember the cowboys in the days, they didn't use no casket. They dug a hole. See, you're going to go back to the elements. But that's a delayed process. It's hindering you. But they think it's a good thing to be put in a casket. And everybody got his way of going about burying people. See? And a lot of things we do is so wrong, man. It's so bad.
Do we understand why we here and is learning this?
Oh, yeah.
It's because you're gonna die. That is just being clear and straightforward, frank. All things in the universe die. You're no better than anyone that came in this world. You're gonna die. If you don't know what to do, that's called wisdom. This is why you need wisdom, because I'm not going to be with you in death. My brain is my brain. That's why I'm helping you gather your brain and how to work it and actually know what stuff is.
Right on.
When you go to sleep, that's your own darkness. When you have dreams, that's your own. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not in that. That is illusions. I'm trying to get you to the pure realm where it's eternal life, not you're going to fall out the dream and come awake in this world. Because that's what's going to keep happening to the innocent souls who don't understand that to understand the end is to understand the beginning. Those who was first shall be last, and the last shall be first. The Ouroboros, the Ouroboros, the circle unbroken. This is what we have to understand. You're going into a dark place. And the only thing that's going to take you out of that dark place is your own consciousness. Now, just like when you sleep, you don't have the power to bring yourself into dream. I'm talking about that's called unconsciousness. You are powerless. When you in death, you got to resurrect yourself. So as a erection in the physical, you got to spiritually resurrect. If you know what I'm saying. It's the reason why birds fly.
Yeah.
And that's because they know how to resurrect. They know how to erect themselves. This is why you study, or why the bird is used as the invitation of the soul. Because the soul got to fly. But if you don't know how to fly, you cannot leave the body. The body represents gravity. You have to learn how to levitate. To resurrect, that's the same thing. Levitation and resurrection, the same thing. Or you're going to sink into the body. The soul can stay into the body, and that's called being killed. And so back to the coffin and wisdom teachers of old, our ancient forefathers wasn't buried in caskets. Caskets is unconscious. And the souls in a casket is unconscious. Remember, the way you live determines where you go. So if you didn't live the way that you didn't know, you wasn't supposed to be in a casket. Remember, you have a law in man, in you. A law is in your body, telling you to stay away from certain things that is filthy and would get you into that realm.
That's beautiful.
That's just important for us. Book 3. Yep, had to hush.
Somebody called your name.
Oh,
Hey, that's just in reference to sleep. Put it to sleep.
Yeah,
You read with the children.
yeah.
Hey, yes, I love participation, y'all. I love y'all participation. I love y'all. Man, you first, you got good handwriting. You know how to write in cursive and in plain. You know how to use uppercase and lowercase. Wow. Oh, you got good spacing in your words. Spiritual significance. Wow. Your abilities, you are able. Master is a tutor or a teacher of children. Thou means way path in the right way of life. Oh, peace is your nature. Oh, she said, okay, let's rock.
Not crazy, but crazy. Keeps people unprepared. Not prizing their treasures keeps people from stealing. Not looking at the desirable keeps the mind quiet. So the wise soul governing people with empty their minds, fill their fill their bellies, weaken their wishes, strengthen their minds. Keeps people unwilling, keeps the ones who do know from doing anything. When you do not do it, Nothing else of word. Not that that changes the whole book is both an explanation and a demonstration of
Ooh. Hey, let's give a hand to our future. Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. Man, you are beautiful. Mm. Okay. Mm. Did any highlight in this one?
Not looking at the desire keeps the mind.
Look at that. Look at that.
Desire. Lord says always.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
It's always desire. What are you desiring?
Mm-hmm.
You desire unconsciousness. But are you desiring to awaken your consciousness?
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful, Father.
Yes.
Yes.
That is what I'm.
Yes. Beautiful, Father.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
And I just like to say to that is that it's amazing how we desire all the lower things so fast and so quick, but not have a desire for the higher thing. Why? We go low before we go high. It wraps us up so quickly. And that's why Jesus said, ye shall know the truth. See, he said, seek first the kingdom of Allah. Seek first that and all his righteousness, all his truth, and then go after that other place.
I'm glad you brought that forward. The kingdom. Do we understand the parable of the kingdom?
Okay.
The kingdom is the knowledge. The kingdom of God is the knowledge of Allah.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge of Allah is the only way you get knowledge of self. As you're going to see, Allah is more ancient than God.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about ancient people
Right on.
who lived a certain way
Right on.
and left this way in writing
Yeah.
so you can imitate the divine creator.
Right on.
How about that, y'all?
Yeah,
Y'all imitate the divine creator. So this is why the low is praised, because we stop praising the higher. Most people give praiseworthy to the lower things.
Yeah.
I very seldom hear praises to the education I'm bringing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no praise to the higher self.
Yeah.
But such thing as money, I'm looked at as you don't have money. Look at the things that have been concocted just because we don't praise nothing greater.
Yeah.
Someone is here to give you something that's yours that's greater than your current lesser. And we praise the lesser over the greater.
Yeah.
This is why our children will fail in life, right, if we don't understand what's worthy of being praised.
Mm-hmm.
Them reading, that's worthy of being praised.
That's right.
When they do a bad, that's not worthy of praise.
Mm-hmm.
When they in honors, that's worthy of praise.
Mm-hmm.
These things we have to understand which is actually myself and my offspring, and what is not for myself and neither for my offspring. Nobody appreciates your offsprings like you do.
That's right.
Don't nobody foreign care about your offspring.
That's right.
Why
True
should
children,
they?
that's right.
Let's be common sense. Why
Yeah.
should they?
Yeah.
We have to acknowledge what the divine creator has given us through us, by us, so we can appreciate all of us. Because all of us is an answer to this situation we're in.
Right on.
Each one of us hold this valuable puzzle that if it just come out in class,
Yeah.
they would just begin somewhere even
Yes,
faster.
indeed.
The not prizing their treasure keeps people from stealing. If you don't want people to steal them, this is giving you the answer. Not making a big deal about having things that valuable to you. You got a new pair of headphones.
Here's anything stolen from y'all? Yeah. Okay, good. Never let that happen.
I heard that.
You
Yeah,
keep
many
it.
things.
Because people will try.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to focus on something about the Lord desires. Now, the championship basketball is on, and they playing hard. They using all their power and all their will in a wrongful manner. What's that state? That everybody fighting, putting all their energy in. It's all pertaining to a dead trophy. They can't talk, can't walk, and they fighting like hell just to be the champion. Champion of idols. And that's all it is, but they ain't awake to what's going on. But you can see the desires of the Lord thing. And they can get you caught all up in it and stuff, man. Seems like you're doing something, but you want to be a champ. A champion of what? Of righteousness? That trophy can't talk. It has no life. But that's what everybody want to be. You see where everybody mind at?
There's no saving power.
It has no saving power.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your child has more saving power
Yes,
than
indeed.
money will ever have.
Right on. Beautiful.
That's that fact. You got more saving power than money itself.
That's
but
right.
we, as older, relinquish our ability to use our free will. This is why the church in Christianity wanted to place that book over our heads. So it constricts our free will. Now we don't have a free will. Now you gotta use it to get out of your situation. When you had it to begin with, and now it done got covered by so many falsities in life. Santa Claus, holidays, rabbit laying eggs.
Yes, indeed. Halloween.
Let's come on with it. These things lay over the consciousness. They gotta rest somewhere.
Yeah.
Even you rest somewhere. Go to sleep somewhere. So this thing gotta go somewhere wherever it's landed.
Yeah.
And this is why we have to understand our beautiful children are representative of free will.
That's right.
They are pure free will, showing you your power and ability before you got contaminated. So don't feel a certain way. Listen to your children in these day and time. They come from heaven. They not no Joe Blow down here. They come from heaven, and if you can pull heaven out of them, they will take you back to heaven.
Right on.
They just come from that place recently, more recently than you.
That's right.
We better understand life is in harmony. We may be in the lower, but you just birthed the higher.
Yeah, and I want to say one more thing. Yeah. Don't y'all see this system that they done designed up called Department of Justice is grabbing up all our young children they call juvenile and putting them in prison and jail. They ain't got no business there, but that's where everybody going. That's where everybody at. You see what's going on here? He done built the jailhouse for him. You see what's going on? The picture should be crystal clear. That's all I gotta say. What number be on?
You had mentioned about in prison. We have to understand now with women getting pushed into the world in society, that rate for women have increased.
Sure had it.
More black women are in jail now than
That's right.
any other race.
How about that?
So we have to understand from 2000 to 2021, black women in prison has increased to 70%.
70.
So 7 out of 10 black women that you see have either been traumatized, marginalized. And if we don't protect ours from that same effort,
Yeah,
it's already designed through social media.
there you go.
That is a pipeline to prison.
That's right.
Or driveway to prison.
That's right.
That's
So,
great.
That's right.
It's in for a year.
Mm.
They just got out a week ago.
Look at that.
This is what the beautiful you just said. Because there's a connection, 70%.
70%. Man, that's too many.
that's too many.
That's
of our
too many,
sisters.
y'all.
This is our future.
That's our future. We can't come here without them. They give birth to us.
It's not using the wisdom. It leads you to places, leads you to environments where you can get responsible. That's what you got to use your mind so that you're not
Okay, now we ain't gonna hold the flow because you said something very key.
But she said, "God, I can't hear with that air conditioner."
or following other people, being influenced by other people.
Oh yeah.
You just said both of those words.
Oh
You
yeah.
go on social media. They have
Followers.
Yeah, sock. Yeah.
And
You better watch social media.
influencers.
Yes, indeed.
What are they influencing?
That Facebook and social media is dangerous.
And if you got more followers, you are considered popular or someone to follow.
Yeah.
It's people over here got 40,000 followers.
Oh,
And they doing wrong, millions of followers. And we at K.O.S, we moving up now. We got more subscribers now than we had at the beginning.
Good.
So the numbers are growing,
Good.
but it's nowhere near to stupidity. Numbers growing over there. And man,
Well, I can tell you one thing: that people love more bad than good.
hey, like we say, it's our beautiful time. It's no Leah time. Yes, we ain't finna hold the flow. It's Leah time.
Mm.
Things will soon return.
You gotta share our love. Yes, I'm glad so we can share our love. Ooh. Which one of our bright stars got this one? Who reading this one? Ooh.
Right on.
No, Leah, yes.
Right on to the
Yes.
bone.
Our 5-pointed star.
The ways ways used, but not used.
Let's give our right star a hand.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, yes. Did anything stick out for us in the highlights? That's so cool. Man, do we see what we have as the Al Sufian, as the way? It's never used up. If we can understand what consciousness is versus unconsciousness, compared to unconsciousness, unconsciousness is feel. This is why people keep doing what they're doing, because they feel. Consciousness is the opposite. It's unfilled. It has boundlessness. It doesn't have shape or form. So now when we're talking about the way we follow, it doesn't have the stigma of what reality is. For us, it's the divine. And we are in between watching and observing and experiencing the different harmonies. Sometime we're experiencing that harmony, and nighttime gonna come. We're gonna experience that harmony. So now when we're talking about, is this deep? This is the unmanifest, the al-batin, the al-bati. So in ancient Egypt, they said the atik. So this is where you get later akanat.
Look at there.
So all these teachings was the same, pointing to the one way. And the one way of, we know from our honorable as consciousness. This is the light that destroys, or anything brought into its light becomes nothing. Here it comes. The way is empty. So when we dealing with our 101s, that's the one is the way. The 0 represent the emptiness as a value, not a perspective. Somebody may call you, and before you even know what they're saying, you have a perspective come to your mind. So we saying in the way, you don't have judgment. You let whatever is come. And when it comes, that's what it is. So this is how we keep ourselves from the burdens of life, by understanding the flow of life. That we don't have to push ourselves. The day will come. We don't the night will come. We don't have to. So we don't have to push or force anything in one day. In one day, all comes. If we can understand, we just not the two. This is why it's important for us to understand the great creator, divine creator, all law, all. So this is what is very empty. Think about it. Let's start with an example. Say I, and then have nothing else behind it. You see, that's who you are. You are I. but then you just load stuff behind it.
Yeah.
I want to go there. See, and this is your ability. See, and if we don't know how to think, this will take us astray. Because we're supposed to use thinking as a switch, like the on and off.
Yeah.
Not as our entire life. We're supposed to be thinking 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like night and day. When daytime here, you're thinking. When nighttime comes, you just shut off your thinking.
Shut off your sleep.
Life is
This
beautiful.
amazing, ain't it?
Nah, this is why when we talking about why the great, honorable, and noble told us to study and study and study, not any book. He didn't even say study and study the circle 7. We have to understand how important that is. If someone was in their own benevolence, they would repeat themselves. He asked for you to study yourself. After you finish studying this. After you finish studying this circle 7, there ain't nothing else to study but yourself. Not going to study yourself. And this is why we find out. Why? Because we find out study is a name of our divine creator. And then we find out self is a name of our divine creator. So this divine being as an angel came and gave us, just like Jabaru, who was Gabriel, gave Muhammad, he gave to us in the West, in America, of North America and all of the America. So, but we don't understand heaven. So we don't know what heaven looked like when people land here. And what it looked like with their works. So once we do, then we understand who's who. That's why the Roman secrets have all been revealed from that time of 1886 all the way up to 2024. So now we talking about this is what they also hid, that they didn't want us to find, and that it was hard to find in that time. It's here now. The divine truth. He said you should know the truth, and not only the truth, but the divine truth. That's what let me know it was something else. That everything he brought was the truth we were supposed to know. And then the thing that was to come was the divine truth. And once we know the circle 7, we'll be able to become aware. Because that's the consciousness. And so now we have the Sufian to protect all women, protect all children, and to protect men. In equality with that divineness inside. It's no longer outside because self is a name of the creator. So now, number 7, Sufa 35, number 7, Allah is the study of life. So when we studying ourselves, we studying life. When we study each other, helping each other, we are studying the divine creator. Then Allah says, Allah is life itself. That's what's going to come and get you at death, just like what come and raise you out of sleep. If you live that way, you will get resurrected by your own consciousness linking with the will of the deific will. This is why it has to be said when the will of man, and that's when you cannot become a Muslim under no condition. You have to become a Sufian by way of free will. You cannot be forced. You have to come and submit through your own unconditioned, because there's no conditions on you for what you're doing, because this is what consciousness is, unconditional. Remember, it's empty, so it don't have restrictions. It's not a dog in heat. You know what I'm saying? The higher self is not a dog in heat. It lacks nothing. Guess what? The only thing the higher self needs. And then when I found this out, it was so understandable that you had to practice it to experience it. And guess what? The divine creator, only thing consciousness needs. You know, your body needs food, your body needs water, your body needs to go places, your body needs, your body needs. Give me some cereal, some pancakes, give me some serve, hey, give me some to drink. Hey. Can you go get this? Can you?
Yes, indeed.
But the consciousness, what do we need? It needs nothing.
Ain't that beautiful?
Ain't that beautiful?
Ain't that beautiful?
This is why it's the creator. The creator don't even need us. That's why he'll leave you in the abyss if you ain't lived that life. Because as it said, if you wish for it, your wish shall be granted. If you wish, it says, if you wish to follow teachers as a donkey, meaning the church and Christianity, if you willing to follow those teachers and you done found the ignorance in it, the talking donkey.
Yeah.
You willing to follow the teacher that got a talking donkey.
Mr. Egg.
A talking donkey. A talking slave. Then the divine creator member is unconditional.
Yeah.
He will grant you exactly the conditions you wish for. So we better wish for better and wish for greater. Because if we do, that's what we're going to have. So as the children, I wish the best for my father, for my mother, and myself.
Right on.
What I receive, my father and my mother receive. This is connection.
Right.
This is honor. This is respect.
Each other.
If it wasn't for them, it ain't no me.
That's right.
These two is composited in you. And so now that third strain, you got two cells. That's called the father and the mother. But that third one, that's the divine creator, is your free will. And your free will is in between the higher self and the lower self. And at death is where your free will gets its reward. Was you working to become a higher self throughout your life, or was you working to will yourself to the sluggish will where you became unconscious, where you don't even know yourself? You don't even know your own consciousness, as you say. It's so crazy. It's paradoxical.
So
It's
just to say what you just said, I thought about the scripture you said. That's why I said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Allah." And see what Allah. Because see, you don't have to be pure in heart. You could be filthy in heart.
Unclean spirit.
Unclean spirit. And that's what makes people do what they do. And you say, man, I ain't think you do that.
Good point.
Other people shock you, you said. But you didn't think they would stoop that low.
Good.
I just want to say
We all experience that. Someone stooping low in our experience.
And one more other thing, we turn to so many false leaders, and we think the leaders that is the way for us, when they might not, behind closed doors, he could be a polecat. He could be filthy in heart, but when he come out in the forefront, or to put on the show in the spotlight, then he put on his best attire. But beneath, when you see all the people on Capitol Hill, how they dress, they're tied, suit and tie, uniform. They show you their best behavior. But look at all the Walmart, same one, giving the order, wearing that suit and tie.
And that's why the most divine wisdom is to know that you have two selves. Now your two cells have nothing to do. That's all in.
Right on.
Your body is a result of your lower self, but it's not the. It's what. Put it this way: the body is the definition of your unconscious mind,
Yeah.
your unconscious soul.
Yeah.
Your body is unconsciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, raise your hand. That's consciousness.
Yeah.
What controlled unconsciousness?
Mm-hmm.
Consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Consciousness controls your whole body.
Yeah.
If you understand what it is. Misunderstanding, you think this is the consciousness. And so what's going on with this start running your life.
Mm-hmm.
This is the molding of unconsciousness that holds the darkness. Just in case you don't want to go up. You can land somewhere. You have a good old landing.
I'm cool.
You have a good landing. So that darkness that you experience in sleep is you laying in the physical body at its lowest level. So the consciousness that wakes you up, that's not even here. That's not a human being. That's a human spirit. So now we talking about when you got two cells, you got two spirits. So the person wearing a shirt and tie, you don't judge them from their face value. You judge them from spiritual value.
Right on.
Everything you see, you judge from two spirits. Remember it said the man who remembers two things is untroubled. For one is the truth, and the other one is elaborate lie. So there's always two spirits in one body.
Yeah.
Remember, Satan was cast out. The unconsciousness was cast out. So that's a spirit. Consciousness was still here. It's in unity. It never went nowhere. But that's also a self. So we have to understand these are two different spaces. All the divine people are in the divine space. All the wicked people are in the wicked space. Unconsciousness and consciousness. Lower self, higher self.
Oh boy.
A Lord, devil.
Oh boy.
Abyss, angels. Jinns, angels. So everything is in that accord. Everyone that embody a physical body is either a jinn or an angel. These are the two spirits that's in man. You just watch with wisdom, and they will tell you who they are.
That's right.
This is why we have to understand where your children come from. You can bring children from heaven, or you can bring children from the abyss. Bad people bring bad children. Good parents bring good children.
Sure do.
If it's sunny outside, it's sunny outside.
Yeah.
The Creator doesn't do mismatch.
That's right.
If it's green grass green, the Creator made it green.
Right on.
The Creator wouldn't tell you it's blue and the grass green.
Right on.
So everything is in harmony and ratio and equal to its proportion.
Yeah.
If you were good, that's right.
Yeah. I want to say one quick
beautiful.
thing on that when you were saying about good parents bring good children. For an example, the so-called pale race. Look at their parents. Look what they teach their children. How to hate just like them. They dead and gone, the hate still lingers on. And we face it each and every day. You see? I just want to say that because of the good parents. Good parents gonna do that's right. Gonna do good things. Bad parents gonna teach the children bad things. I told a European up there to that muffler place when I went to the cops that just worked on. I said, not one child come here hating nobody. They have to be taught.
And that's the point right there. They taught the way of the jinn.
There you go.
And that's what defines the fruit.
That's right.
You know a tree by its fruit.
It's fruit.
So you don't know yourself yet until you have children. You don't know yourself yet until these things come about.
Yeah.
Because this is real creation. This ain't no,
That's
oh, I
right.
think I'm
Ain't no
good.
make it, perhaps.
Exactly what you are.
That's right.
This is truth. Truth is something seeable. It's in the Sufian. You believe what you can see, hear, and feel. These things are truth. What you can't see, feel, and hear, just like people coming back from the dead. We say we coming back here. Cycles of life we go through, emptiness and fullness, or desire and desireless. So if we let's just say if you up to age 20, if you're older than 20, you have collected a bunch of desires. Now you have to use your free will to start minimizing, turning these desires back to minimum. As you was a child, you wasn't even studying none of them.
Sure.
You just go outside and have a blast with self.
Yeah.
And so now as we go older,
Yeah.
so that's why the younger, they are more pure. They can just go outside and play and not even be bothered with anything.
Yeah.
Because they come from that consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we understanding is as you get older, you collect more desires.
Yeah.
And if you don't get, let's say if you be red shirted, that's unconscious. But if you get promoted, that's conscious. So every time we get older, as you get older, you're supposed to promote yourself. Oh, today I'm this age now. I'm this age now, Daddy. I'll take care of the dishes. I'm this age now.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever is needed to do.
That's right.
These are the things that have to come and have to be understood and respected by the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because if one take an initial stance to better themselves, that has to be respected as a compliment.
Yeah.
Because if not, then we're going to see right here what we're finna read in book 5. It's on the Great Elder.
All right. 5. Useful emptiness. Heaven and earth, to them the 10,000 things. That soul are human. To them alone. It moves, it exhausts. Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. We got 10 minutes left. Hold it in now. Useful emptiness. Now, we would think, how is emptiness useful? Let's think about this house. It's the space that makes the house useful, not the walls. Instead, she got plants, got a refrigerator, it's the space. So our consciousness is the emptiness of the space. And we don't supposed to fill our consciousness with the world. That makes sense. We're supposed to leave the consciousness as itself, but just experience it in the world. That's how we come to the two selves. It's the harmonies of life. But you are the divine creator as self.
Yeah.
This is why it says, "No, he who knows his own self knows the divine creator."
Yeah.
So this is the hardest paradox to understand, is that you are the divine creator.
Yeah.
And that you are doing this to your own self. And that was their goal, to get you from that. Our whole way, ever since of ancient, as it's been, we are angels in the flesh.
Yeah.
That's how our way always been.
That's right.
So when it's talking about wise souls aren't humane, and to them the 100 families are straw dogs, that's what we are experiencing. People who study this stuff will call wisdom. They look at their citizens as straw dogs, stray dogs.
Strong man.
They just make it right. Strong man. There you go.
Yes.
See, and the governor ain't in the same position. They use everybody under them as a cattle, as a sheep led to the slaughterhouse, because one is lacking the wisdom.
Yeah.
So we have to understand this is why they aren't humane. These people are not dumb. That's where I'm getting to. We getting to see they just genes, but genes ain't dumb.
Sure is.
They serve a purpose. That should make sense. And they genes serve a purpose, just like you serve a purpose. Now, this is why we're supposed to understand the difference between when saying wise souls. That's spiritual. One who understands wisdom speaks out of the highest plane of spirit life. So when we go back to the Bible and we say that man speaks word, and man thought that word that he need to speak to keep his power is the word God. This is the bait. The word is a law. This is the word that will keep you in power and keep you as yourself. The divine creator protects the divine creator. So when we're talking about no other religion understands this because they're not of the origin. They came from the origin. So they don't understand Allah and man are one. They still have something they call you worship this. So what I want to make clear for us is that what's left for us as instruction. Sufa 41, Al-Hakim, the wisdom. Would you read number 4, good brother?
All are. It's the light. I have obtained.
Could we stop there?
Look at that.
You see, our teachings is not outside worship. This is Allah is something you attain while you come and wake up. This is why he who wakes you up woke you up for that purpose. But the people in the world at this place right now don't have this understanding. So they have been disconnected by the church and Christianity. You go to church to worship God, not to attain. So when we're talking about Allah and man are one, this is something man must attain as the physical force down here. You must attain Allah to reach Allah, to be with Allah. So we must understand, as number 5 says,
And in the night too, and in the light, I live.
and you tell me, when you sleep, do you see light? So it's talking about awareness. And our word for awareness was ancient. Allah. Allah. This is what we have to attain to reach the state of divinity. This Allah is the only thing divine in this world. And the knowledge of Allah is the only thing that makes self divine. Remember, self is a name of the divine creator, but due to other religions, no one knows this. He's been treated as an outcast. But this is something that we have to attain. We must grow from Buddhas to Allah, where you hear the word sons of Allah.
Yeah.
In our term, that would be Sufian of Allah.
Yeah.
This is the highest state of intelligence, wisdom, clean, purity, and undefiled in the human being. So this is why you have an arm, leg, arm, and a head.
Yeah.
Because Allah made us
Mm.
And who made the outside is he who made the inside.
Mm. Mm.
Once we understand this is the harmonies of life of how we graduate from a sophomore, from a senior,
Yeah.
to a divine being, which is what you want to write down or really put this in your memory and repeat this over and over. As a divine self, this is what you need to know you are. You are a divine, conscious, free will mind.
Mm.
If you don't understand, you won't ever become conscious. Consciousness is free will. If it ain't free, it's force. If it's force, then it's fake. And if it's fake, it's not real. And if you search, like I say, you take math, take your age, and multiply it by 365 days. And that's what you will get of the circle you've been making of not knowing self.
Man.
And you go to the grave with this. All this comes a memory. If you don't take it from a memory to a awareness, something you don't have to worry about forgetting. The opposite of remembering is
I don't know.
there you go. And what the Sufian say, the calamity of knowledge is forgetfulness. That's unconsciousness. To forget you are a conscious being is the calamity of unconsciousness. You are not your name. You are the consciousness before your name. This is what we have to understand. The name is your form of unconsciousness that you fully can inhabit and raise up. This ain't your first rodeo. This ain't your first rodeo. You're back again to get it right again. And you know you have it right when you're not back here again.
Yeah.
It's why evil is here. The prophets ain't coming back here. They is in heaven. I was talking about literally. And left us the way. This is why evil has spread though, because people are actually there. And the ones who are lost sin here is to get us back to there. But these people who are son here ain't coming back here. That's for the instructions have been left behind for all the aboard the plane or aboard. Come aboard.
Yeah.
And so this is what we have to have as we close our beautiful lesson. Anybody else want to say anything before we close our beautiful lesson on the Sufian? Well, we'll close it with this. Oh, yeah. That's me. Thank you. I'm telling you, that's how many days I've been here before you. See why I'm just talking here now. You've been here so long. Now, how old you are? Let's see. How many days you been here? That's a long time.
Look at that.
They say one day is equivalent to 1,000 days. This is why you're growing wiser and wiser.
Yep. That's right.
Because your days shall be increasing as your numbers increase.
Mm-hmm.
So we close in this love right here. That Allah and man are one.
Beautiful.
That consciousness is alt. That naught, unconsciousness, is naught. Unconsciousness. Naught is naught. That power is but unconsciousness. That illusion is nothing but unconsciousness. The heaven and the earth and hell are not above, around, below, but inside two spirits, which in the light, as we just read, all law is the light. In the light of alt, consciousness becomes the unconscious. Anything that comes upon consciousness becomes unconscious. That's how we got here. So we have to understand why we say Allah, because Allah is all of us. The universe, the trees, the rabbits, the garden, the grass, the sky, the clouds, all that is life. So we're closing that measure. Hey, I love to hear them names of the divine. As-salam and Wadu.